Hey guys, what's up? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, simply type 1. Let's begin today's class. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Simply type 1. Let's start today's class. Can you guys hear me? Alright, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now so we can get started with today's class. So let me do that. How are you guys doing now? So today we're going to be talking about offer creation as a freelancer and exactly how you can go about it and know your ideal audience for whatever skill or service it is that you are offering. Okay, so look forward to it and it should be a good one. Let me share my slide. Okay, I've not even downloaded the slide. And as usual, after today's class, there's going to be a question and answer session. Right? Typically, it should take about 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. So by 8:30, we should be done. So give me a minute. Let me download the slide and upload it to this software. And then we can begin. Okay. So file download. If you can send a reminder to the group chat so more people actually join this class, that would be very helpful because I won't be holding something like this for a very long time after this, right? So simply send a reminder. And now I sent the link to join about 2 hours ago, so it's closer to the time, so you guys won't forget. Present slide. Alright, so the slide has been added. Let it load up and then we can start. Alright, so if you can see my screen, simply type 2 in the comment section and let's begin. So if you can see my screen, simply type 2 in the comment section down below and let us begin. Okay? Alright, awesome. So guys, like I said earlier, my goal for holding these live classes with you guys is to help you extremely simplify everything about freelancing. Because, alright, can you give me a minute? Yeah, I've not plugged my laptop. Let my battery not go and die in between this class. So just give me like 1 minute. Alright, so I'm back, right? So let's continue. So like I was saying, my goal for this entire one client away workshop is not only to transform your mindset to know that you're just one client away from making at least $1,000 every single month, but it's easy to do freelancing. It just depends on the mindset you are using to get into it, right? Now, one of the things that makes some things look extremely difficult to us Nigerians, it's simply because we grew up in Nigeria. Nigeria is like a mad country. Everybody's telling you you can't do it. Everybody's giving you negative feedback and the rest of those kind of things, right? So you never know how those things unconsciously affect until you are trying to do or move forward and do something really reasonable for yourself in life. Doesn't matter what age it is you are at or the rest of that. These things, or all these words that we've been told and all these things we see happening around us has a certain degree of power, right? Like it depends on where you are staying right now, but when I tell you you can make $1,000, $2,000. You might believe it, but you don't believe it or believe it for yourself personally, because your entire environment, you're not seeing a lot of progress there, right? Like the way I casually mentioned 800,000 naira now, I could not mention it when I was starting back when I was living in a mud house, because nobody was making up to 100k self per month in that place. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So you have to look for external sources of motivation. If you're in such a place right now, you look for external sources of motivation, people who have actually done it, and stick to them instead of looking at your immediate environment. Okay, so I hope today's class now, what we're going to be going is basically how you can choose your ideal client. I'm going to show you everything you need to do step by step to choose your ideal client. Once you've chosen the ideal client that you want to be reaching out to, that you know that okay, this person would need my service, this person would need a UI UX designer, this person would need a copywriter, this person would need an email copywriter, or this person's company, them or their company will need your services. Then you have a clear idea on what offer it is you are actually cooking up for them, so it will be extremely relevant to them. Okay, so on that being said, let's get started. So the first thing we want to talk about is what is offered. So the simplest way I define offer is simply, actually when it comes to marketing or making money on the internet like we are right now, it's simply sorry about that, right? It's simply what you give to a person to make them choose you over other people, or what makes you unique. The unique value or proposition you give to someone or a business to make them choose you over other people. That's simply what offer means in this case and in this scenario, right? And as we're going to go through it, you're going to see exactly how you can actually choose your own offer. Now, by the time we're done with this, you're not only going to be able to have your offer by the end of tonight, you're also going to know the ideal clients you're supposed to be targeting by the end of tonight. Okay? Now, before you get to craft your offer, you need one or two things in place. Number one, you need to have a skill set. You need to know what skill set or what service it is you are going all in on to actually master and offer to the foreign audience for them to pay you in return for dollars, right? Once you have that, the next thing you need to do is basically you need to know let me just move to the slide. You need to know the case uses of your uses of your skill set basically. So let's take writing for example. It's easy to say that people who only need writing are maybe academic professors or doctors and the rest of that. But there are so many places that you can actually look deep into where people actually need writing skills that you already have. It could be used for journalism, it could be used for selling products, it could be used for writing scripts. Even all these comedy skits you see on the internet, you can actually write the scripts and get paid for it, right? So you want to, number one, choose your skill. I'm going to help you and lay down things that you need to just know before you choose your skill right now. So bring out your pen and paper. Number two, you need to know the use cases of that skill set you've chosen. Then, when you know that, the third one is simply knowing the type of clients that you want. Once you know all three of these things, then you are good to go. Okay? Once you know all three of these things, then you are good to start saying, okay, I want to craft my offer. I want to know this. You get that, right? Because if you don't know any of these three things, you're going to find it a lot more difficult to actually craft a relevant offer that would help your clients choose you over other freelancers or other people who are reaching out to them. Okay, so once we get done with that today, tomorrow we're going to go through getting clients on LinkedIn and Upwork specifically, and that will be the end of the 3-day workshop, of the one client away workshop. Okay, so making everything simple for you. I'm not on this class to teach you life skills and the rest. You already have that with the course you got, whether it's the freelance or smartphone or it's the high-paid freelancer premium program. You already have access to that. Okay, so give me a minute and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be going through here, like I said, when it comes to choosing your ideal clients, is choosing your skill set, right? So how do you choose a relevant skill set that would actually help you stand out, and also something that you can do depending on what part it is you are in your journey. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you guys is that, I'm going to share my screen pretty soon, I'm going to share on that screen entirely, right? Is when it comes to choosing a skill, I find a lot of you always wanting to go towards whatever it is you studied in school. Now, I will tell you this, like I've told you before, nobody gives a damn, nobody gives a fuck, nobody gives any distance what you studied in school if it's not relevant to how it can help them solve their business problems, right? So what you should be looking out for is how, maybe if you really love what you studied in school, because let's be honest, we know how Nigeria is, a lot of us not study what we actually wanted to study, right? I do medicine and surgery, I ended up doing pharmacy, right? So what you should be looking for is how what you studied in school can actually supplement the industry that you are in, okay? Now, if the screen is not clear, it's from your own end, simply just tap on the screen, go to settings and choose the highest resolution there. When you go to settings, click on quality. When you go on quality, click on advanced, right? Don't leave it at automatic, and click on 720. And your screen will automatically be clear. You have to see me clearly, you have to see everything on the screen clearly, okay? So if anybody asks about that again, just simply tell them what to do on the live chat, so I don't have to dial back to that. Okay, so like I said, when it comes to choosing a skill, a lot of you like to always lean towards what it is you actually studied in school, which is very, very wrong when you're coming to freelancing. Because you don't, it's not, although you're like working a job, or let's say, yeah, you're working a job, it's not like the traditional job. So you're a freelancer, the client understands that you are hired on a contract and you might not be with them for a long time. Or even if you guys are working for like a year or the rest of that, freelance jobs are typically not that long. Freelance jobs rarely last more than a year, like no matter how long the contract is, right? Or 2 years max. I said I want to make you a permanent employee, and I also recommend that if that's something you see yourself doing. Okay? So I always notice that most people want to say, I studied petroleum engineering, I studied food and nutrition, I studied education and English, blah blah blah, right? Those things don't matter. Abandon everything you thought you knew about the job markets when coming into this. That's why I said that if it was just about what you know and the rest of that, then everybody would make it around $1,000 or $2,000 per month. But no, you need specific high income skills. Stuff that the market has tested and said, okay, the market is willing to pay good amounts of money for this skill set that you have. And they are willing to pay really good amounts of money for them, basically. Right? You need those tested and trusted distant skills. So I'm going to give you exactly how I was able to choose the particular skill sets I am doing, and this should help you to do it. Okay, so when you first come to choosing a skill, the first thing you want to do is abandon passion. Let me just type it. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I'm going to share this particular screen with you guys right now. Okay, so let me just share screen. Share screen. Right? Alright, so when it comes to choosing your particular skill sets, the first thing and the first honest advice I would give to you guys, abandon passion. A lot of you want to feel like you should like what it is you are doing, and I 100% understand that, but you have to understand that if you can do what it is, or you can carry out the skill and service, you know it's something that you can actually do, then it's not a much you must have passion for it. I'll tell you something for free. I don't have a huge passion for freelancing, but I looked at my environment when I was starting out and I was like, this is like the most ideal skill set for me to actually get started with, because number one, I don't have money, I don't have skills and the rest of that, and I only have a smartphone. So back then it was the most ideal skill set for me to get started with, right? So what you want to do is you want to abandon your passion. If you have a passion for singing, I get people tell me that in their DM that they are good songwriters. Are they really paying songwriters much? No. So abandon that. You are here to see how you can make $500 in the next 30 days or 60 days, right? You want to abandon that. I'm not saying as time goes on you can't go along and go ahead with it, but it's not something that you actually want to be focusing on at the very beginning of your journey, or basically when you are starting. Okay, now the next thing is you want to weigh in on your strengths. I'm pretty sure that, like I said, because anybody that has this course should have at least completed secondary school, so most must have done the university, right? I'm pretty sure that you want to weigh in on your strengths, right? So there are mainly two types of skills and services you can offer. Like if I should divide it, if I could just divide it broadly, two types. There is the creative type where you are either writing, you are designing, you're a graphic designer, you're a website designer, and the rest of that. And then there's the more technical side where you're either programming, you're doing UI UX design, you're doing all this complicated stuff. You're a software engineer, right? Me, I knew that I fell under the creative side. And the reason, another reason why I want to go for the creative side is that it has a lower barrier of entry. So if you don't have a laptop, you don't need to start saying, I need to save and buy a laptop before I can do this. You don't need to do that, right? I started with just my Infinix Hot 5, and that was the phone I was using back then. So because of that, I focused more on writing because it's one of the easiest I could actually do. Now today you can actually do videos, you can create videos, you can even use AI to create these videos at a high rate, only that you get paid less amounts than people who are not doing that. But it's still basically the same thing, especially if you can do the captions and the rest. People would pay you good amounts of money for this, right? It's something that you might think it's random, but I look at how much I'm paying my video editors, and it's quite a good amount of money because I don't know how to do it. It's not like if it's something that if I say, okay, between now and midnight, I want to learn how to do it, I won't do it. But I don't have the time for it because I have other business to focus on, right? So when you come, you are basically dividing, you are weighing in on your strength. Let me just write it so you can see it. Weigh in on your strength. Right, for those who will be watching the replay, so it's not only talk, I'm talking. Weigh in on your strengths, right? So this is going to be a little bit scattered. Now, what I mean by weighing on your strengths, it's simply choose between creative skills or technical skills. Why is this in caps? Right? So you want to simply choose between creative skills or technical skills. Now, like I said, creative skills are those that have to do with designing websites, they have to do with writing, they have to do with video editing, making things look beautiful, making things look unique, basically, right? And then the technical skills are more about the, I would say slightly UI UX design, because also requires some sort of that. I would say programming, I would say software engineering. But I'm not going to be focusing on those because I don't really know much about them, so I didn't even think of putting them in the high page Landlord Permitting program. Doesn't mean you won't learn how to get clients with them, but I don't know much about those skill sets. I'm not going to talk about that, right? So you think, what is most likely, what is much more easier for me to actually do? There is no shame in doing what is easier for you to do. In fact, if you have a talent for something, if you find something easier to do, then you can monetize it more, and it will just be as if you are taking free money. Okay, it's as if you're taking free money because it's easy for you to actually do it. Another thing I will also tell you to supplement number one about not focusing on what you have passion for, what you really love when it comes to this, is that when you start doing something and when you start getting good at it, you're actually going to find out that you actually love that thing. It's usually how it is. You might not really be good at something, you start getting good at it, and then you start seeing that you actually like that thing. So in the beginning, you don't want to be focusing on, oh, I must like this thing and the rest of that. That's not how it works, right? You are here for the money. So your eyes need to be directly on the money. So basically, you use this, you choose, you weigh in on your strengths and you abandon passion. And then lastly, you consider where you are right now. Lastly, you consider where you are right now, right? Do you have a laptop or do you have a smartphone? Consider where you are right now. Now, do you have a laptop or do you have a smartphone? If you cannot afford a laptop right now, you don't have a laptop right now, then you want to focus more on skills that can be easily done by you without using a laptop or a smart or any of those, or a computer basically, right? However, if you have that and you feel like you want to do UI UX design, then by all means go for it. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. By all means, go for it. You consider where you're starting from. When I started personally, if I had a laptop when I started, I feel like I would have leaned towards more technical skills like web design and the rest of that to learn them, and instead of just focusing only on copywriting. But I didn't have that luxury or that distance to afford it, so I focused more on that. Okay, I focused more on what it is I could actually do and what I could do with what I had around me, which was basically a power bank and a mobile phone. And I focused more on writing skills that I can just do with my phone, right? Now, the last thing I want to just talk about, it's not super important since all of them are high income skills. It's simply think of the ease of you getting paid. Now, all high income skills will pay you thousands of dollars. I can guarantee you that, right? I can guarantee you that with every penny I have. All high income skills will pay you hard raw cash, thousands of dollars. Well, but some skills will pay you faster than some others, and some skills are faster for you to master than others. Okay, so it's much more easier for you to learn these writing skills or the concepts of them than it is for you to say you want to become a programmer, you want to become a software engineer, you want to become a web designer. It kind of depends also, because I feel like I used to be a web design course now, everything was just looking very simple for me, and so I don't really want to say, but what I know is that it's much more easier for you to learn them and get clients with them. Now, remember what I said about mock-up portfolios, right? Which is basically, because I'm not a fan of you working for free. You will never see me really advise it in my course. Don't work for free. People like to use you and play when it's free things, right? They all waste your energy, they waste your efforts, and then they can deliver a very drastic blow at the beginning that you don't want. It's very easy for a client to discourage you and make you feel bad, especially those Indians and Pakistanis. They will just say nonsense and make you feel like you don't know what you're doing. So another reason why I don't suggest you work for free, because you work for free and they'll be like, change this, change that. You'll not be like, Shebi, I don't know what I'm doing again. So I don't really recommend that. All right. So what I'm trying to say simply here is you want to make sure, you want to choose a skill that can be easier for you to make money. So like I said, that also depends on where you are. If you really need money badly, the fastest way to speed blast it to getting your first gig will be to choose either copywriting, technical writing, or content writing. These writing skills are skills that you can learn within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you can start practicing and creating relevant mock-up portfolios. I'm not going to explain what mock-up portfolios is. I believe you guys should know what it is by now. You can start practicing and making relevant mock-up portfolios. Now, these relevant mock-up portfolios can be used to apply to jobs immediately. You can make mock-up portfolios on Figma and everything with UI UX design and digital marketing and the rest of that. But some of them just require a more in-depth form for you to actually do that, or a more hands-on job for you to do that. Unlike with writing, where you can just take anything and start writing. You can start writing about this water, you can start writing about this phone, you can start writing about this mouse, my computer mouse here, or my smartwatch here, basically. Right? You can write about any of these things. Same thing with designing a website that will sell these things, or making or designing a website that will sell these things, or any of those technical things, right? Now, you want to focus more on things that are easier for you to get your first pay on. And from my entire experience, it's easily, what do we call it? Writing skills that are the easiest for you to get your first pay on. And AI has not really eaten deep into any of these writing skills yet, right? They just give a general broad idea of what it is you need to do. It still needs human touch to actually be able to make it look nice and sweet for Google's algorithm and relevant to whoever is reading it, and not sound like a robot. Okay, so then you can move on. They fall under the category of creative skills, which is also designing, and which is also video editing and the rest of that. They are the ones that are easy for you to learn and create a mock-up. This could be graphic design too, right? You are the ones that are easier for you to learn and create a mock-up portfolio around them, and then you can actually apply to jobs faster with these particular skill sets. Okay, so that's the criteria for choosing a skill. So knowing everything I've told you now, all the three, it's actually three, but I mentioned three criteria for you choosing a high income skill. What high income skill would you say you've chosen that you want to actually do and you see yourself doing? Think about it and write it down. Make that decision now. Type it in the comment section. Let me see, so we can move on to the next phase of this class. What's high income skill with all the criteria I've given to you guys right now? What high income skill would you say you want to actually do? Type it in the comment section. Let me know. Okay. Copywriting, okay. Which one is doctor? Where did that one come from? Are you in this class, Tony? Be Victor. Pick one skill. Don't try and pick two skills. And that's awesome. I'm seeing a lot of people choosing copywriting, so nobody wants to do technical writing. Technical writing has a lot of money. People are sleeping on this. Victor, stop typing that doctor before I come and find you where you are and break your head. Which one is doctor? How are you going to become a doctor as a freelance skill? Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense for anything I've just explained? Right? Alright, so it's on UI UX and technical writing and the rest of that. Okay? So you guys have chosen the skills you actually want to do. So now that you know the skills that you actually want to do, what we're going to focus on now is knowing the relevant people who will hire you for these skills. Once you know the relevant people who can hire you for these skills, what we're going to simply do is now move on to creating an offer that you can use to reach out to these people so they can hire you. Okay, so let's continue. So the next one we're going to talk about is choosing, sorry about that, right? Is knowing the ideal people who want to do this. Now, what you want to think about is listed out in number 2 here, which is know the use cases of your skill sets. Right? What's the use case of your skill sets? What's the main use of your skill sets? I want you to bring out a pen and paper now and start thinking of whatever it is you can actually think of. I'm going to help you do it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, right? So when you think about, a lot of you chose, like I said, it's not what you must do writing skills, but I know a lot of you will be choosing writing skills because it's like the easiest for you to do. And that's why I always made sure I mandated that you could speak good English, write good English, understand good English before you bought any of my courses. Okay? So once you understand basically, sorry about that. Once you understand basically the skill sets you actually want to focus on, which is basically the high income skill you want to focus on, the next thing you want to do is you want to think of people who would actually need your skill set. So if you want to do digital marketing, for example, right, like Peter said, if you want to do digital marketing, who and who will need your digital marketing skill sets, right? It spreads across different people. In fact, anyone that has an online presence and runs business online basically needs your digital marketing service. Okay, that's the first thing you want to look at. Anyone that does any service online basically needs your digital marketing service. The next thing is you want to avoid the shiny object syndrome when it comes to choosing this offer and the client, and you want to find a larger market that you can easily have access to. So you have a large pool of people that you're actually sending messages to, and you can get replies to, and they can hire you. Okay? And then when it comes to offer, you want to know the benefits of your offer. We're going to go through all of that, right? So, like I said, now what we're going to do now is choosing your ideal client. And for you to choose your ideal client, once we want to figure this out now, then we're going to go into offer and creating an offer that will be relevant to this ideal client. Okay? So just think of let's do this together, right? So what are the what kind of people will need a copywriter? What type of people will need a copywriter? What people will need a copywriter? Anything that can come into your head, type it on the comment section, okay? What people need a copywriter? I'll tell you, product sellers, right? Product sellers, lawyers, let me hide this, right? Product sellers, lawyers, supplement companies. They are like, as long as they are selling something online, supplement companies, fashion brand, right? Fashion brand, health companies that sell a product online, right? Course creators, people that sell courses. If I didn't know copywriting, now somebody must have pitched me to help me sell my course, right? Course creators, personal trainers. There are skincare brands. Yes, awesome. Skincare brands, right? There are tons and tons and tons of people who need it. E-commerce brands too. And e-commerce is basically selling online, right? E-commerce, they could be selling a very wide variety of things online. Could you be selling water, right? As long as they are selling something, they are going to be more inclined into into needing your service, right? Because because copywriting is simply selling with words. Okay. Now, yeah, affiliate marketers, but don't try and target the Nigerian affiliate marketers, but except you want to stay broke. Okay, so so you want to stay broke, so you want to avoid them. So, like I was saying, these are the list of people that actually need your skill and service. And I will tell you something. Across whatever skill or service it is you chose, these same people, to an extent, will also need your skills. Let's say you're a digital marketer, like a general digital marketer, right? Every single person I've mentioned here will still need what it is you do, whether you're a personal trainer selling something and the rest of that. Let's say you're a UI UX designer and you can basically design apps and this thing for them. These people will still need it again. Product sellers will need it. Lawyers who have international firms and the rest of that will need it. Supplement companies would need you to design their websites. These guys need you to like design their websites and make their user interface basically simple for others to actually carry out, right? The same thing with our companies, same thing with course creators and the rest of that. But software companies will now be here. But what you quickly realize is that depending on the skill sets, the number of people who will need your services across these industries I've written out here would either increase or reduce. They will either be much larger or they will be much smaller. Think about it. You're a video creator now, or you can edit video and the rest of this AI videos and the rest of that. Product sellers will need your services. Lawyers would need your services, but not that much, depending on what they are doing, depending on what type of content they're trying to move going forward. But lawyers now would mostly need people who can actually write, more than they will need someone who actually edits videos, right? Supplement companies, they will need your services because obviously they need to showcase what it is they're selling. Fashion brands, definitely they need you to be able to edit their videos so it's appealing. Right? Health companies, in between, depending on what they're selling, they also fall under supplement brands, right? Course creators, definitely they need to edit their course for them. Personal trainers, they need to edit the workouts this thing that they want to show to their clients across social media. So if you're a video creator, they'll need you more. Skincare brands, same thing. E-commerce, same thing, right? If you're a writer, basically all of these guys need you. If you are doing general digital marketing, not every single one of these guys would need you. If you are doing UI UX design, I already explained it. Not every one of these guys will need you, and even when they need you, the degree to which they need you is not going to be that high. And if it's not that high, you can't charge that much too. And not only will you not be able to charge much, you would also be stuck because there is not a lot of market for you there, a lot of people for you to reach out to and tell them, hire me, I can do XYZ, right? There's not a lot of them, there's not a lot of people who are doing that. Now, not only that, but they don't need you that badly. So eventually, you find someone who is like, okay, let me see what you can do, I can work with you. And then you post the person $2,000 and they're like, they disappeared because it's not really a pressing pain or a pressing problem that you are actually solving for them in this scenario. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that and stick with me. It's not really a pressing pain or a pressing problem that you need in this scenario. Okay, so ouch, let's continue. all right. So that's basically what you want to do. You've thought about the use case of your skill now, like I was saying, based on this explanation I've given you now, you know that if you're a writer, you can spread yourself across every single type of niche, every single type of company, industry here, basically. I'm going to be calling it niche or industry, but that's because that's basically almost basically the same thing to me, okay, when I'm explaining this. So you can spread yourself across all of these type of people who need your skills and services, and you would have a large pool of clients to actually reach out to, right? You have a large pool of people who actually want you to work for them, right? But then you can't create a specific offer or a really compelling offer. So if you know what we're going to now, we've chosen skill sets, and now we're trying to know our ideal clients. They want to know our ideal clients. Then we can move on to the hands-on of creating a very good offer that would be mind-blowing and also be motivating people to actually work with you, right? So you look at every single one of these industries listed out here, And you have to think, which one of these would this be more relevant in? It's not a must you must even think. You can simply just maybe go on LinkedIn and search, right? When it comes to reaching out for clients, right? When it comes to reaching out for clients, you can simply go on LinkedIn and search for this. I don't think I'm logging on LinkedIn on this my laptop. Let me check. Right? You can simply go on LinkedIn and search for this type of things, right? You can simply go on LinkedIn and search for people who are doing such relevant things, right? So you can simply go on LinkedIn and search for people who are doing people who companies and actually reach out to and decide this is something you want. Now the good news I will give you here is that from everything we've listed here now, you don't need to say, okay, you want to focus only on lawyers. No, don't put yourself too thin. You don't need to say, okay, I'm only going to focus on supplement companies. You can focus on supplement companies and health companies in general. Do you get what I'm saying? You can focus on personal trainers and content creators in general. And health simply falls under supplements, personal trainers, skincare brands, and the rest of that. You don't need to put yourself in a box. I mentioned it here, right? You want to find a larger market. You don't want it to be like you are going to carve out a space for yourself, but if that space is too tiny, it's going to make it extremely limiting for you, and you're going to have a hard time getting clients that will hire you. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm an email copywriter now, and I come over, I look at this list, and I say I want to work with lawyers, and I'm not by that I've already given myself a very small margin. If I want to make it worse for myself, I want to work with only lawyers who are, I want to work with only tech lawyers, right? I've given myself a smaller margin of people who I can reach out to, send outreach to, send proposals to, and get them to reply me. I've given myself a smaller margin, right? Now, in some cases, this is good, but that's when you know what you're doing. That's when I'm not saying you know what you're doing, but that's when you've had some veteran experience. Someone like me now, I can do that. But when you are a beginner, you want to give yourself room to breathe, so you can grow into what you feel is more comfortable for you, what skill or service you feel like it's going to be more comfortable for you. Which reminds me, one advice I want to give you guys is that the skill you start with is not the skill that they've destined upon you forever in your life. Okay? When I first started freelancing, I first started as a resume writer. I was not really getting jobs with it, so I moved into half-baked graphics design and ebook design. Wasn't getting much jobs with it, and then I moved to copywriting. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: just because you've chosen copywriting and maybe it's not working for you, does not mean you cannot change to something more technical like technical writing, UI UX design, programming, and the rest in the future. Does not mean that. Does not also mean that because you are doing UI UX design, you cannot completely switch to copywriting or content writing or technical writing as a whole, right? Because it's very easy to put yourself in a box, and I want you to be out of that box. That's why I'm holding these classes, right? I want you to be out of that box and see how simplified things can be. All right. So let's continue. So basically, you think which of these people will need my skills more, or we need my service more? Your skill, basically the same thing. Which of these people will need my skill and service more, and how can I reach out to them, right? So you use LinkedIn, you simply maybe search for law firms, and if you just search for law firms, you will see some, right? Law firms, right? And you can see some, and you can click on the company and click on their CEOs. You know how to filter your search now. You filter your search to the United States. Saying what's the first green connection. You filter yourself to or whatever country it is you want to, right? You filter yourself to this thing, and then you look at people you can reach out to, right? Associate attorney, right? But you want to know the people you're actually reaching out to. Now, I'm not saying you should go and target law firms, or they are super difficult. Don't go and target law firms. I'll just use them as an example. They are super difficult, especially if you're a copywriter. Take note of that, please. Focus more on supplements brands or software brands or any of these easier ones that you can actually go out to. Okay? So you search the market and you see, oh, there are lots of people who I can actually reach out to here, right? So this has 246,000 results. What does that tell you? There are tons and tons and tons of people you can actually be reaching out to, and you will not get exhausted, and you'll be making money once they reply you and get to work with you. So it's the same thing. You're going to go across the border searching for this. You can use this. You also have to think what social media will this guy is most active on, because if you say you want to reach out to skincare brands and fashion company, you're going to have to alternate between LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, right? To do your outreach. Once you go through, sorry about that. Once you go through outreach tomorrow, what I'm going to be teaching you guys, it can be easy for you to copy and paste it across any social media, whether it's Twitter or whether it's Instagram. All you just require is a little bit of common sense to tweak it into your own favor, and you're good to go. Okay, so you look into this, and then you've chosen, let's say, that of us chose copywriting, right? So now, I said we're going to be copywriters for health companies. That's what we're going to focus on. Now, health companies comprises of both trainers, people who are selling supplements, people who are selling drugs, people who are selling maybe a PDF or something like that. As long as it's health, even skincare brands fall under that. Basically, in the health industry, that's what we're going to focus on, right? So now we've known our ideal client. Our ideal client is basically either a fitness trainer, someone who works in the health industry as a decision maker. Any ideal client must be a decision maker. Please write this down. Must be a decision maker. Don't go and look at one company and go and start emailing the copywriter there or the person who is doing one low-end job there. They cannot help you. They're not a decision maker. They cannot make relevant decisions for the company in regards to hiring you or paying you. So your ideal client must always be a decision maker, right? So since we decided to focus on the health industry, we're going to be looking for decision makers in health industries. Maybe someone who is a personal trainer and has his own training company or his own training course. Someone who is selling supplements, could be vitamin C, it could be dried fruit supplements, could be supplements for people who go to the gym and the rest of that. You want to look at people who are actually decision makers and can actually work with you in those niches, right? Even if they are an affiliate marketer, like they are working for ClickBank, as long as they're making a good amount of money and they're the ones that decide what they need, they are decision makers and they can make the hiring decision, right? So what we've done now is that we have chosen a skill set, which, let's say, copywriting, right? We've then chosen an industry, and which is basically the health industry, and we now have an ideal type of client, right? We can focus more on narrowing down these ideal clients by choosing the type of company size you want them to have. Maybe you don't want them to have more than 50 employees or 100 employees or 200 employees. That's a good mark, because when they don't have more than 200 employees or 100 employees, you can filter all these things on LinkedIn. Okay, you can filter all these things on LinkedIn, or when you look for the companies, connections. Okay, no, not these people. It's not people we're looking for, right? When we look for these companies, you can look at how many people they have hired. Right? This is what I did. I went to people and I filtered to employees. What are you seeing here? 25 employees. Small number. You can reach out to them. It's more ideal. Reaching out to large companies that have thousands of employees, over 200 employees, can be a bit challenging because there's a lot of bureaucracy, and they probably also get a lot of cold emails and proposals and outreach to them. So you are struggling. Remember, you want to make this easier for yourself and make your targets easier. I hope you guys are writing down what I'm telling you now. You can also come back and watch a replay. It's only you that cannot see the screen, not we. There's no we. It's only you that cannot see the screen. Okay? So, okay, sorry. Yeah, that's true. I didn't share this particular screen. Let me add it again. So look at it here. You simply go on your LinkedIn search, right? So you go on your LinkedIn search. You click on this part where you're choosing either companies, people, job posts, products, and the rest. The search is very nice. You can use LinkedIn search to do a lot of things. I'll tell you that I've gotten clients on LinkedIn by simply searching for posts and typing need copywriter, looking for copywriter. These phrases and these words, right? Writer, blah, blah, blah. I type them, I look at the post, I filter the time of the post to something within the last 1 week, and focus on it, or the last 3 days, or within the last 24 hours, and focus on it. You get really good quality leads that are looking for your service, right? So you go on here, by default is usually you're looking for people, but this time around you just simply go and click on companies, and then when you click on companies, you can look at this. You can see this first one here. You click on the company. You can do it with your phone too. Don't need to. It's not important to your laptop, right? You can use your LinkedIn app, or you can use your browser. You can see this company has only 24 employees. We can go back. Let's look at Law Absolute. What do they have? 65 employees, right? So if we want to pitch them, they are good. We can also change this from law firms to healthcare. Yeah, just put health. You can just put health. You can see health insurance services, or we can simply shorten it by typing supplements. Right? So you can see Supplements Global LLC. We click on them. How many? They have only 4 employees. Ideal type of people you can actually hire, right? Ideal type of people you can actually hire. Super Supplements. We look at them. 115 employees. Ideal type of clients you can actually hire, right? So you are looking for like 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 to 200, because on one end you're looking for a company that is not doing any revenue, that is only owned by one person. You can still reach out to those, but don't really expect much payment from them, right? And on the other end, you're not looking for a company that is a I cannot pronounce that word basically, but it's like a conglomerate. How do you pronounce it? It's like too huge. Like Amazon now, you're sending cold emails to Amazon. It's not really going to stick because thousands of people are applying to them every time, right? Or applying to Google, right? So you're not looking for something that is that huge. You're looking for something that is just in between, where a small distance like you can actually stand the chance to get this job. So take note, you've learned how to choose the skill set you want, right? We've also talked about choosing the industry, how to weigh the skill you want, and choosing the industry based on the use cases for the skill set you've chosen, which people will need it more, and which people will willing to pay more for it. The more they want from it, the more you can make money from that, right? And now we are now choosing the ideal client, right? And I'm showing you how to just use a simple LinkedIn research to choose this ideal client. Okay, the reason I'm saying I'm not listening to people say we are not saying anything is because my tablet is right next to me and I am watching this live basically there, and I'm using my laptop to stream the live. So me myself, I'm seeing my screen. So if you're not seeing the screen, check, or you fast forward, or you check yourself. Okay, and there's only like 2 people who are complaining about this, so please don't bring us back. All right, so you've learned all of these things. All right, you've seen and learned all of these things basically. So now you are choosing your ideal client by also knowing how much market is out there for you to actually reach out to and for you to actually work with them. Super important, right? So we've done all of these things, and now what we're going to be moving on to is simply right now, it's simply creating and crafting an offer for these ideal clients we've chosen, right? So remember, your ideal clients should, number one, be a large enough market where you can target a lot of people. Number two, they have a need for the skill or services you're offering, and that need they have should be important enough for them to say they want to pay you good money, or at least pay you $500 and the rest of that. If it's not super important, they can just tell you to go your way and you would not be having so much success. Okay, so take note of that. All right, so basically now what we're going to be learning how to do is, let's see if we've targeted everything here, is craft an offer. Okay, so here is my slide again. Let's go. So the first thing, you know the use cases of your skill or your high income skill that you have. The next thing you want to do is you want to avoid a shiny object syndrome when choosing an offer or an ideal client, right? So I already explained that for you. You don't want to be looking for everyone to work with, but at the same time, you don't want the pool of clients and prospects that you can actually reach out to be too small. So for example, I used writers and chose, instead of just financial institutions, I just chose health companies. Financial institutions are also huge, right? I didn't just specifically skincare brands, and skincare itself is kind of big. because it's like a huge market, it's a huge industry now. So you can even dare say you want to focus solely on that. But now, if you're a video creator, you can't say you want to focus only on that because you don't have as much use in that. You have a lot of use, don't get me wrong, but it's not as much use as people who are copywriters and people who are content writers in that industry, right? So you can't say you want to solely focus on that, or if you are into designs, right? So take note of that. All right. So once you've done that, you now have your ideal client, and you know that these companies you're looking for, they should have at least up to 50. Not it's not a must, must have up to 50. Or they can have 5, 10, 50, in between that, 100 employees, and at max 200 employees. The reason I said for that is that when you are reaching out to these companies, you don't want to make it harder for you to actually get a response. Companies that are much bigger than that, there is a lot of bureaucracy there. There's a lot of people the message is going through. You're finding it hard to get the CEO's email. They're getting a lot of proposals. So it's just more competition. And competition is not bad, but you don't want more competition where you're just trying to like go straight to the point and shoot the bull on the bullseye, what you call it, right? So you want to also look at that. And also the reason why we're choosing companies that have that relevancy, or at least have that online presence, is that number one, they're also trying to stand out online. Number two, it shows that if they can employ other people, they can afford to employ you too, because you don't want to spend your time crafting an offer and they'll tell you, I'm just starting business, I don't have money. I did that a lot back in 2019 and it scarred me basically, right? Maybe it was because I was poor then, so I was attracting poor people, but I would say it's mostly because I didn't really know what I was doing, right? I was just trying to figure things out. All right, so now that we've done that, what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be choosing our we're going to be crafting our offer that is relevant to these clients that we've chosen, right? And we're going to use different examples. We're going to use this first example of this thing. We're going to use this first example of finding clients on of these our health clients on LinkedIn. We're also going to what is able to say again. We are also going to we're also going to try other industries and other skill sets and craft offers for them, and then we go for a question and answer session, and then we can end today's class and look forward to tomorrow's one, which is about outreach. Okay, so at the beginning, what did I say offers were? Now I said offers as stuff is basically something that helps a person, a business, or a client choose you or choose your service, in this case, over the other people's own or over the competition's own. They don't even want to look outside because you are doing something good and you're doing something relevant to them, for them, right? Now I've covered this before, and I might not do super much of a good job. I don't know. I'm going to try and do my best, but I don't know if I'm going to break the record of the previous one when I talk about offers. So make sure you go on the Freelance or Smartphone course and watch about it there. And basically, what class did I hold that I talked about offers? Or any competition and offer, and watch about it there too, right? It's going to help you. So what is going to make them choose you over others, right? Most times when I talk about offers on the internet, I'm always holding this bottle of pure water, and this bottle of water, sorry, and I always like to use an example. So I mostly buy this. I'm in Nigeria right now, and I mostly buy this Nestle Zinc water. Right now, the reason I just buy it is because of the iron and minerals it has inside. Supposedly, that's what they said. That's the main reason why I choose it over Eva bottled water, Swan, Aquafina, and the rest of that. So what is their offer that is making me choose them over others? It's simply the minerals that has a potential health benefit to me inside this. That's why I always buy this water in bulk, right? Cartons of it in my house. All right, so that's basically what it is. Now, when it comes to business, your offer how to choose your offer, right? How to create a good offer. How to create a good offer. Let's go with that. How to create a good offer, right? So let's do that. So let me increase the fonts. How to create a good offer. Now there are certain elements that make a good offer. You can't just say that, oh, I can do XYZ for you, and it's not just a matter of, and your offer is also not just a matter of you will do more jobs for them or you will spend more time on their projects, right? It's not only just that. So if you want to create a good offer, there are certain elements that make up a good offer. Number one, let me reduce this font again, right? The first element that makes up a good offer is that it's relevant, right? So I'm going to reduce this so we can write it, right? It's relevant to the ideal client that you're actually targeting. So let's go. Your offer should be relevant. Number two, it should target some of our, will I call it, what do you call it, 7 deadly sins or carnal desires, basically. So people always want things to be done fast and mostly hands-free because they are lazy, right? So greed, sloth, gluttony, and the rest of that. So your offer should always target those type of things if you want your offer to really be good, right? So it should be relevant to the person. Number one, it must hold a good relevance. That one is not hard to get as long as you know what you're doing and you know how your business can actually help them. It should focus on the benefits of your service, right? You guys that have gone through the features and benefits, you know where I'm going at. Focus on the benefits of your service. So you are saying that you are going to build a beautiful website for me. That's a feature. What is the benefit? The benefit is that anybody that comes on this website would be more inclined to stay longer. If they stay longer, they can buy something from you. And if they buy something from you, what's the benefit of that? You make money and you are in business. That's it. That's the benefit. You don't just, when you're crafting this offer, you're not just going to be stating just the features of, I'll build you a beautiful website. I'll build a beautiful website for your, what do we call it? You're not going to say, I'm going to build a beautiful website for your fashion store in 1 week. You're going to be saying, I'll build you a beautiful website that will keep your visitors engaged and help you make more sales within 1 week. That's how you say it, and that's how you make a good offer, right? Are you guys like getting the packaging I'm giving to you guys right now? Because this is something powerful that would take the shift of whatever struggle you're struggling with right now, currently. Okay? So your offer should be relevant. It should focus on the benefits of your service. It should be fast. Most people don't like things that are slow, right? It should be fast and it should be good. You don't want people to say, oh, I can do without it, right? So there are not much mafia offers in this thing. It's mafia offers mostly exist with products and services, but products, physical products and digital products, but they exist for services too, right? But not really much. But I'm going to show you how you can look at your market, you look at the type of people you actually want to work with, and you're like, oh, okay, I can create an offer that will be relevant to this person, and that same offer, as I'm mentioning it, I'm going to focus on the benefits, and it's going to be fast because people just love things being done fast, right? That's the world we live in right now. You want things being done fast. You're buying something online, you want them to deliver it within the next 1 day for you, 2 days for you, 3 days for you. Even in Nigeria here, we don't even have good transport service. It's like that. You are getting a course, you want to make money the next day, right? You are cooking food, you wish the food could be done faster, so you go to the fast food. If basically what you can afford it, you're always going to be doing something like that, right? You want it fast without you spending so much effort, and you also want it to be good, right? And the way you do that is all these things are going to add them when you're creating your offer, and then when you are listing out your offer, my number one advice is focus on the benefits that whatever it is you're doing for that client or you're going to be for that prospect. Basically, what is the benefit? What is the end goal? So you're a copywriter. You're not just a writer. How do you separate yourself from being just the normal copywriters. You tell them what your copywriting is going to do, the email series you're writing for them. What is it going to do for them? The sales page you're writing for them, what's it going to do for them? The social media post you're writing for them, what's the end goal of the social media post? To get more followers. What does more followers mean? More authority, more money, because more followers mean people will most likely buy from you. Right? These are the end goals of whatever it is you're doing. Same thing with if you're a UI UX designer, your app will look relevant, it's not buggy, the experience is good. When people have good experience, they're going to tell their friends that your app is super nice and super sweet and they want to work with you. Or your website is super easy to navigate, right? You're a digital marketer. What's the end goal? You help them know exactly what they should do in their next marketing phase so they can progress and scale their business faster. Social media marketer, I think I already covered that one now. You're going to help them come up with posts and ideas and look at trends and jump on those trends so that they can increase their followers engagement on their posts, which will directly translate to making more money, right? And yeah, it's going to be available to the HPF course, so don't worry about it. If you want to go, you're not going to have the chance to ask me a live question. We're talking about that, right? So you want to focus on this type of, you want to focus on the features and benefits after you have crafted your offer. Okay, so like I said, so now that I've explained all these things, I'm sure if you understand everything I've said right now, it becomes a lot more easier for you to imagine a good offer. Because an offer is something that is just basically relevant and also helps a client or a prospect or someone choose you, your business or your service instead of choosing others in the market, right? And the way you make that offer even more appealing, even when they don't know, is the way you present that offer. You get? It's one thing to say that, oh, I'm going to build a website for you, and they know the website is important to their business, and you say, I'm going to do everything that consists of building that website for you, and I will do your website for you within a week. You just say that. That's a very good offer. But a person that would also come and say, I'm going to build your website for you, I'm going to make sure the designs are very nice, that it retains more visitors on your site, and also write good website content that will help your website rank upwards on Google. What these two things means is that people would see your website earlier on Google, on the Google search, and when they click on your website, they will retain more and probably sign up to your email list and probably buy your product, right? If you think about it, both guys are basically offering the same thing, but the way the second person presented it is much more appealing than the way the first person just said, I'm going to build your website, I'm going to make sure I do everything for you and take care of all your worries. Yes, but what worries? I want to hear the worries. I want to know the worries. I want to know how that will positively impact my life and how that will positively impact my business. That's how you write it. That's how you create a good offer. Okay? So features you can add into a good offer, like I already mentioned. You want to make sure it's relevant. You want to make sure it's good. You want to make sure you can add extras. You want to make sure it's comfortable. You want to make sure it's comfortable for the client. You want to make sure it takes work away from the clients or from the prospects, and blah blah blah. That's simply what you want to do. You want to make it a lot easier for them to for them to actually be able to see the relevance of what it is that you are actually doing. Okay, so that's simply what you want to do. So on that note, let's start crafting out some offers. So I'm going to start with our first scenario here, which we are talking about. I'm going to talk about our first scenario here, which we are talking about copywriters. Because a lot of you chose copywriting. I know a lot of you chose copywriting, right? We are talking about copywriters or content writers or technical writers. You guys don't really have much use cases in the health niche, right? So let's just say copywriters and content writers in the health space, in the health industry, right? And what it is that you are actually offering for them. So yes, exactly what I'm going to do. So the first step is knowing the use case of your skill. What's the use case of your skill? You are basically creating content for them that will get people more engaged, make their website look more professional, just overall helping their business, right? With your writings. The next thing you want to do is you look at the type of clients you are reaching out to. If it's a client that is selling, because under health we have supplements, we have personal trainers, we have the rest of that. Now you can create an offer, and as a writer you think what you also, one thing I forgot to mention actually is, you think if a writer, don't just think of the normal deliverables, and you guys know what I mean by deliverables, right? That is tasks you can carry out for a client. You can write all you want on your website page, which is basically website content or website copy if you call it like that. You can write emails for them. You can write their adverts for them. You can write blog posts for them. You can write white papers for them, right? So what else can you do again? Anything that you can write their video scripts for them. Okay, you can write their social media posts on maybe Twitter and Facebook and the rest of that for them. So why is this important? Because when you know the deliverables that you can actually offer to these clients, you can infuse it on your offer, right? So you can see a company right now, you can see a company that has, let's say, you can see a company right now that has a good website. So let's visit their website. You can see a company right now that has a good, what kind of website is this one? Oh, okay, so I should complete this puzzle, right? You can see a company that has a good website, right? This website is just there, it's cool, right? They're using more of a direct response website, not bad, and they probably don't plan on changing this much, right? And what you can do is you want to scroll down and look at their products, bestsellers, you click on it, and you can, once you know the deliverables you can actually do, you can help them. Look at this right now. Alpha Brain, Alpha GPT, Bacopa, blah 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 blah. Right? There is no real description about the product in the copywriting sense that will help the product sell better and focus on improving sales. That focus more on the benefits, right? So the Alpha Brain formula contains highly effective ingredients that are either cutting edge or have historical use. This combination aims to potentiate the best cognitive performance while maintaining mental clarity, providing long-term neurological health benefits, right? Now, I know that these guys don't like to make a lot of claims, but you can show them how you can rewrite this product description. That was one of the things I do. Product description is one of the easiest things to get gigs on, especially if you're writing for people who are selling online or e-commerce companies. You can show them how you can rewrite this product description the way I taught you guys how to do in the course. Focus more on the benefits and how these products has been proven to actually help people, and then basically the end goal of rewriting this for this particular supplement right here now, the Alpha Brain Memory Focus, blah blah blah, is basically once you rewrite it, you're going to help them get more sales and more reviews, right? So you can even use the testimonials they have here to make it better. This stuff really helped me with bringing details to the forefront of my mind. I didn't think I was forgetting things, but wanted to try it and see what it did. Honestly, quicker reaction time to recall details in my work. I'm in sales, I need to be quick with the response of the customer, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Alright, so it seems like I don't know what's happened with this software, but it just disconnected me. So let's just forget about that and continue, okay? Mm, right? So if you can see my screen, let's continue, guys. Right? Can you see my screen? Let me know in the comment section if you can see my screen. Ouch. Alright, so we'll soon be getting to the question and answer session of today's class. So let's dive into it. I just want you guys, the reason I'm explaining things like this, I'm not spoon feeding you, is because I want you to be able to do this long term and take this knowledge I'm pouring into you. I'm not holding anything back, into whatever industry you go into whatever business you want to go into. Because I know that some of you will not be doing freelancing forever. You might want to become a product owner, you might want to own a digital product, you might want to own one of these things, right? You're not going to be doing it forever. So you're basically going to need to know exactly what to do and how to do, and you want to make sure you have relevant info on this. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so that's where I stopped. Was I was talking about this Alpha Brain product, right? So what I was saying on this Alpha Brain product, it's quite simple, literally, right? So you want to make sure that when you come on the company's website, you might look at the copy and say, oh, you can help them improve it, but maybe they don't want that. You look at the products and you're seeing stuff about the product and they didn't write the product description well. Now you have an idea of what it is you want to pitch to them, because you know the deliverables that your skill or service can actually offer. By deliverables, I mean the type of tasks that you can actually carry out for these companies, right? And I already mentioned some of them before. Hope you wrote them down, which is product description, writing of emails. If you write a product description, writing of emails, writing of their website content, writing blog posts, SEO writing, blah blah blah. If you're into digital marketing, you can help them run ads, you can help them do social media marketing, you can help them track their KPIs, which is simply their key performance indexes. If you're into UI UX design, you don't really have that much deliverables aside from normal design a web page, design an app, and some other one or two simple details that would be able to help the company. I don't know much about UI UX design, so that's why I brought somebody to teach you guys. Okay, so you think about all of these things, and then it helps you formulate what angle you can reach out to these clients from. Like now, I want to reach out to this vitamin shop. I remember how we found them. We found them on LinkedIn by typing supplement companies and then filtering our search to the United States, right? And they have 115 employees, so obviously they are willing to pay you good amount of money. Now, I've come to their website looks good, but their product descriptions for certain products don't look good enough, right? So if I want to reach out to them now, I simply just need to go back on LinkedIn, find their decision maker, CEO, head of sales, head of marketing, and all that, and tell them I can help them write more descriptive or better health supplements, or product description for their health supplements that would abide by the guidelines of the US Food blah 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 agency, because that's important to them, right? Basically, just help them write more compelling and more appealing product descriptions that would get more people that read about this supplement to make a sale for them. Okay, now that's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is look for their email lists, right? You put in your name, right? You put in your email, and then you basically click on sign up, right? You wait for a while. Let's say you wait for a whole 24 hours and see what type of emails they send to you, or wait for a few days and see what type of emails they send to you. If they don't send you any email, you know that they don't have an email marketing system on the back end, on that opportunity that is open for you to actually reach out to them. You look at their website again, are you seeing blogs? You're not really seeing any good blog, right? Again, you can reach out to them for blog posts, right? And this is basically how you can find deliverables that you can do to them, because you know you have deliverables that are available to your skill or service, right? And you know exactly how to reach them. So you can always imbue this or embed this simply into your offer by simply remembering that the offer should be relevant. It should focus more on the benefits that you're going to do for them. If you're writing their product description, what is the benefit of writing product description? People who read it want to buy their products. People who buy their products, they make more money, right? Make their website look more professional, makes it look like they actually did a lot more research and makes them look more professional. Benefits: if you are writing their email series for them, simple, the same thing, they have a huge source of income from that end, right? Because I added my email now, I can always, they've not sent many emails, so probably their emails don't, okay, they've sent me an email, right? And their email is all about pictures, and the rest of that. Now, if I want to reach out to these people, now I have something very relevant to reach out to them, basically. Okay, they are not showing me pictures on the email they gave to me. But that one is not what I'm going through here, because I'm not going through the skill set, I'm going through the coming up with the offer. Okay, so you have the deliverables you want to, and when you're crafting an offer on the get-go, now you should have like a general offer and it should encompass about all of these things. But yesterday, the only way you see that you can help that company now is through product description, right? Then you just change words within your offer. Hi, my name is Walter Aina. I recently went through your website and I found it really amazing. I looked through all your product descriptions and you have superb products with tons of testimonials that has been proven to help people solve whatever problems it is they are facing. How would you like to be able to help more people and at the same time make more sales by making these product descriptions more explicit, more appealing to others who need to understand more about the products or who need to understand blah 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 by me writing it for you, right? That's your way, that's the way you do your outreach. And then the offer is then the offer is simply, I will do all of this for you and you will make more sales on the back end, right? Then if the client replies you guys can continue with, and then you let them know how fast you'll be able to do this. And number one, if any, remember, because you've taken time to go through their website, it's really relevant to them. In your initial first message pitch, you've already highlighted the benefits of you rearranging or rewriting their product description for their products for them, right? And the extras could be, if you want to add it to your first one, I've never really tried that before. You might want to try it. I've never tried it out before. It's simply on that same first message. We're going to go through all of this on outreach, by the way. On that same first message, you are going to say, I can get this done for you in 2 days and I won't charge you much since I'll be doing 50% for a fee and 50% for free, something like that, right? You're adding the extras, or you can add the extra into, I would love to help you do this and also help you with any other content that you might need on your website or you might need for your business, something as simple as that. That's how you do your outreach, okay? And that's how you craft the offer. So offer is simply knowing what's relevant to these companies and how you can make it easier for them, how you can make it faster for them, how you can help them make more money with it, and how you can help them save more time with it, and how you can just make them more relevant in business. Once you have all of this, you know the emotions and you know the key points that you're actually targeting when you're reaching out to these companies. Okay, so that's basically it. Now let's look at another one. Let's say you are, I don't like to use UI UX design a lot because at the end of the day, a majority of you are just going to work in an agency. So there is no much direct contact between you and your clients most of the time. But you can reach out to them actually, but they might not really understand you from that point. Okay, you can also reach out to them. So let's use which skill should we use, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Because I'm trying to find another skill that we can actually use. Which skill should we use and create on that offer around? Let me know in the comment section down below. What skill sets should we use and create an offer around so we can make this more engaging? And if we do one or two, then we can go for question and answers and then we can end today's class. Okay? What skill sets? Let me know. I know it's taking some time before you guys get to this message, but let me know. So I'm saying video editing. So video editing, how are we going to make it relevant to this site? We look at what they have. We look at if they have a social media channel. We scroll down. It's either at the header or at the footer if you want to connect with them. Right? We look at their Instagram. Right? Remember, you want to think about the deliverables and the use cases of your skill sets. Right? So they have 309,000 followers. They must be a big company. And they seem to have a lot of good designs here. So you might not really be able to help them that much. I might not be the ideal client for you, but you get what I'm saying now. You're a video editor, you think, how can my skill sets help this business? Right? How can it help them? Always think in that direction. You can help them create more YouTube content, you can help them create more TikTok content, help them create more Instagram content, video content, basically. But where will video content be placed? It's not on their website, it's not to make their website slow. Instead, it will be placed on their, what do we call it? I should stop opening this thing with their, it will be placed on their social handles that need this, right? So you can come, okay, they are kind of lacking it in the YouTube subscriber department here. So that's where you come in, right? You can even do like a test video showing exactly what you mean, right? This is just all meetings, bureaucracy bullshit. That's one thing about all these big companies, right? So let's see if they have a TikTok. So you can come in here and see they only have 6,000 subscribers. Me, I have more subscribers than them. Can you imagine? Right? You tell them, hey, I just went through your YouTube channel and I feel like I have an idea that can help you guys create more relevant content and also help you guys grow on YouTube. Now, why would they need to grow on YouTube? You will now bring statistics. YouTube has blah 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 users, and like 10% or 50% of them have high earning purchasing power, blah 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 blah. That's where they see how useful what it is you're offering to them is, right? And basically, in that same offer of what you're offering to them, it has now become, following what I said right here, right? It has become relevant. It focused on the benefits of why they should actually want really good videos for their YouTube, right? It is fast, not really, right? But you've added the extra of helping them create that, right? And it takes away work from their own end that they don't want to do. But you're going to charge them money for it though. You can really make the first video or look for any other health supplement company on YouTube and mirror or take inspiration from how they do things and create a 5 minutes, 10 minutes video on YouTube or even YouTube shorts that would actually help these companies, right? Simple as that, because their shorts are getting very tiny views. If you also know how to rank on YouTube, even better. Their shorts are getting 1,000 views, 5,000 views, 200 views, 74 views, 174 views. So you see how relevant and how it has a benefit to the company before you reached out to them. That's exactly what you want to be focusing on, guys. That's literally what you want to be focusing on. So we've done one for this thing. I already talked about email copywriting when I was talking about copywriting here, which I simply said I reached out to them on their emails. They don't really have any good email listed, right? And the emails is going to promotion tab, so I can reach out to them with that, telling them I'll help them write more converting welcome sequence that will help them make more sales, blah 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 blah. Right? Simple. So let's look at another one. Web design, you can look at their websites and say the design is not that nice, because I'll be honest with you, the design looks very plain, but they might also be very reluctant to change that design. So that's simply what you can do, because you know the deliverables you can offer to them, and it's not more than their websites, and changing the design of their websites is not going to get better than that. So there's no other deliverable or no other work. Let me stop saying deliverable. No other work you can do for these clients that will make you relevant enough to them for you to be able to give them a good offer when you are reaching out to them. Okay? There is no other one that will make you be relevant enough for them, right? Let me see how many followers they have on TikTok. They should have blown on TikTok, right? 10,000 followers. Not bad. Not bad. No, they have this short content. So you can just pitch them as the person that will be doing their long content. And I'm sure they have a lot of money. This company in particular, they have a lot of money to hire you for. They can hire you for 2K a month basically, if you know exactly what to do and if you know how to churn out this thing. Okay? Depends on how you package yourself. Alright, so that's basically it. So which other company, which other skill sets? There's nothing for you guys here in data cleaning. I don't know anything about data cleaning, so please ask me something relevant. Digital marketing is simply about helping them market their products. So I already mentioned that you can say you want to help them grow their social media channels. But if you look at this company now, they're like quite good. They have 10,000 followers, average engagement rate 2%. Okay, VidIQ does this, right? They basically have like a relevant social media. On Instagram, they have 300 and something thousand. So you have to literally be a big fish to reach out to them. So there is no much use case for that here. But even if you wanted to reach out to them, you always think, what can I do for them, right? What can I do for them, or what deliverables or what services can I offer to them based on the skill set that I have? Don't go and start trying to learn another skill set. I'm a digital marketer. What can I do for them? So a digital marketer can help them increase their Google SEO, can help them improve their sites, their social media channels, followers, and engagement, can help them basically know how to calculate their KPIs, their performance index across all streams and increase their revenue. That's how you think, and that's how you can come up with an offer and create a very good offer that is both, again, let me go back here, relevant, focuses on the benefit to the client, and takes away work for them, and also can be done fast. Okay, so that should be all. Sales letter writing is under copywriting. Yeah, it's a deliverable. So if they want a particular sales letter for a product, they probably will have to reach out to you. This is only one supplement they are writing here. Okay, so any other one, because there are tons. There are probiotics, there are protein powders, there are healthy aging, memory support, whole food, herbs, blah 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 blah, right? And under all of this, there are different products too. So you're probably, you can also simply take the vitamin shop, just spell you spell it, and type net worth, company's revenue, right? And sometimes you'll be able to, if you come to a company like this, you'll be able to see how much they are worth or how much is their revenue, basically. Okay? So someone is asking, is finance a good niche? 100%, one of the best niches you can actually focus on. Okay, I didn't write it in that first one, but it's one of the best niches you can focus on, because there are major niches. There is finance, there is health, anything that has to do with finance, which is basically making money. There is health, anything that has to do with keeping you alive. And then there is relationship, has to do with love, has to do with sex, has to do with blah 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 blah, any of those type of things, right? So those are the 3 big niches I know about. Okay. Alright, so that will be all on how to craft your offer and know your ideal client. We've spent over 1 hour 30 minutes now. So what we're going to do, let's move on to question and answer section, and then we can start getting prepared for tomorrow's class. So I can start getting prepared. Okay. So questions. Ask me your questions in the comment section down below so I can answer them, guys. At least we have like 10 minutes, 20 minutes for question and answers. Okay. I'll give you a very good question from Joseph. He says, if after checking all the company sites and you discover more than 3 problems or deliverables that you can actually offer to them, can you pitch all of them at once in your offer to help them with, or just pick one? So the answer to that is in the power of one. You actually want to pick one that you feel will be most relevant and would most slap, and will also be the one that is most neglected, right? Because it will be weird when I say, hey, blah blah blah, and went through your website, I saw your product descriptions were not that good, I also noticed your email were not that good, blah 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 blah, right? You can pitch them all at once, so it just depends on how you put it. But in my opinion, you pick out the one that you have the highest probability of getting a response rate, and the one that you see that they are really slacking on. For me now, because I got their email on my email, I'm opening my email for you guys on this class. Basically, I would go and pitch them about their email campaigns, right? But if they have a good email campaign, they have a good email list and blah blah blah, then you can reach out to them concerning their in this case, or in the case of this company, their product description, right? So that's how you go about it. So do I recommend signing up to LinkedIn Premium? No, I do not recommend signing up to LinkedIn Premium. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never really used premium things for getting clients. Clients are easy to get if you understand the core essence behind getting them. That's why I'm explaining all these things instead of just showing you, right? So you understand the idea behind it. So if you can, by all means, it gives you an added advantage and probably makes you relevant, and you can also reach out to people without that. You can even use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's even much better, right? I've used LinkedIn Sales Navigator and it's much better actually, especially when it comes to filtering out companies. It has a better search and you will get decision makers directly into it. You can then extract their emails and then blast emails to them automatically, right? LinkedIn has a limited number of search every month. What do you do when you use it? So what you want to do is you just save the pages, and that's what I do, right? So when I use my search, I simply open other pages in other tabs and save them, so I don't have to come and start searching again. That's simply what I do to avoid that. Okay, so since they have a limited number of search, when you search your this thing like this one now that we searched on LinkedIn, where is it, right? Instead of start searching again, or when we finish today, we'll come back and search again. I just open this in new tab, open a new tab, open a new tab, open a new tab, open a new tab, save all of them, and I come back to it, and I will do it offline and the rest of that. Okay. So any other question? Still have by 40 minutes past 8. I think I'll be looking to end this. So ask me your questions now, guys. Ask me your questions. Is there anything that's confusing you? Okay, no question. With hard work, how long will it take to be really good at copywriting? I don't know. I find out that most things come from understanding the depth of why they work and how they work. So I would say it should take you at least a month. But you don't want to be the person that is learning something and saying you want to be expert level before you start reaching out. You don't want to do that, right? Because what you're simply doing is letting imposter syndrome keep you in a box. What you want to do is, once you feel like you've built it yourself, you're quite good, you start reaching out to clients, because there is no amount of things you will learn on your own, even with our buying courses, that will beat what you would learn when you actually have real life experience with clients and the rest of that. Right? Take driving for example. When we go to driving school, they teach us these, that, some of them say we won't have driving simulator. But it's when you're driving your own car and getting into the road every day that you actually become an extremely good driver. So take note of that. Okay, so any other question? Let me know. We still have 3 minutes for questions. So please shoot them to me. Yes, the amount of connections you have on LinkedIn actually drastically affects you. And the reason why it affects you is that when you have more connections, then more people will be applying and will be looking at second degree connections, because maybe one of your connections is already connected to them, so it's easier for you to reach out to them. But if you have less connections, especially if you have, or you have mostly Nigerian connections that are not really trying to be relevant in the foreign space, then you are going to find yourself having much of a problem, right? Because yeah, most of them are going to be third degree connections, and there's a limit to what you can do with third degree connections. So yeah, it actually does have an effect. I don't understand what you're saying about it. Which ones can we get the notes offers to understand how to convince these clients? I don't understand that question. Please rephrase it. I recommend LinkedIn and Upwork as usual, and Facebook too. That's why I made them. Okay. Okay, so as I've used LinkedIn for example, it's still practically the same thing on Facebook, right? You simply use your Facebook search bar to see what you can find out about these companies. When you filter out these companies, you can simply reach out to the owner of the page. I won't suggest you reach out to them on the page. You can find these companies on LinkedIn, on Facebook self, and come and look for them on either Instagram or look for them on LinkedIn. Fish out the decision makers' email, and then you can reach out to them. Right? So it's still always the same basics. Even if a new social media should come out today, even if I say I want to hop on Threads now, it's the same basics I'm going to use. Okay? Is it necessary to have a LinkedIn account? It's up to you. I really like LinkedIn for getting really good, juicy payments jobs. But if you don't want to use LinkedIn, that's fine too. But I find LinkedIn to be more straightforward and easier than this thing. Upwork and Facebook, because at least LinkedIn everybody here is for business. On Facebook people are there for crews and the rest of that, so outreach might not really be your best bet. It might not really be as effective as it is on LinkedIn. Can you have another LinkedIn account? What did you say? Is that if it's under LinkedIn account, I don't recommend it to let LinkedIn not go and ban both your accounts. Highly do not recommend that. Okay. So, questions? Right, it's already listing 8:40, but I'm still going to wait for more questions because I don't want them to do this thing, right? Yes, you can add your LinkedIn handle to your code email signature for credibility. That actually does a good thing for them to reach out to you, for them to check you out, right? It's good. So by all means, feel free to do that. Questions? Okay, that's good, Isioma. Alright guys, so any other question? I don't really recommend adding your portfolio samples when pitching an offer, right? Because when you're pitching an offer, the person who is more in charge is the person who will actually make the most, or who controls how the deal goes. So putting yourself out there when they didn't even request for it, it's not really going to help. However, what you can do when you're trying to do something like that is maybe say, yes, similar results I've gotten for XYZ company. It could be made up as long as you know that you can actually do that, right? Yes, XYZ results I've gotten for a similar company, or it could be when they ask you to send your portfolio, then you can actually send relevant portfolio, relevant to what they are looking for. Okay. I already showed you how to build more connections on the LinkedIn module now, so is there really any need for me to go through it again? Or you watch the video stream? Alright? Alright guys, So I don't think I'm seeing any other questions here. So okay, do you want to drop an example of copywriting work to have some references on? I don't need to drop one. There's swipe.co is this. There are so many ways to find copywriting this thing. If you go to the copywriting list, I also shared thousands of swipe files on the Telegram channel. So go through it, go through Agora's Big Bad Book. You will have tons of samples to draw reference. And then you can even just go on Facebook and look for all these adverts, especially the ones from all these affiliate marketers. You can see some one or two copywriting examples that you can also draw from them. Okay? How do we get these emails of clients even when you know their names? Is there a way for you to check their emails? So the way I get their emails is quite simple. I already addressed this in the previous class, but let me address it again. So the first way you can do, the easiest way, especially if you don't have money for all these softwares, it's simply when they accept you, you go to their profile, you see their email. Right? Second way is you can simply guess and verify the email on the internet. So let's say this person is working at vitamincompany.com. You simply just need to find out what is the email this company is using, right? So they sent me an email. Let me check again when I added it. So you can also check on their website. Let's say you want to make it, you just do that things you want to make a complaint, and you will see the type of company, you see the kind of email they are using. Maybe support at xyzcompany.com, right? So their email was like the vitamin shop at e.vitaminshop, right? So the person's name now, the CEO's name is, let's say, Walter, right? It can just be like Walter at e.vitaminshop.com. That could be his business mail that you can actually send it to. You can send your pitch to, right? You can guess it and verify it on Gmail or any of these things, and that's how you actually get them. Okay? All right. Yes, it will be updated, and that will be that, right? So, like I mentioned, when it comes to UI UX design, you're going to be more of using your resume and LinkedIn mostly, and Upwork too. I don't think you can look for clients on Facebook too. More of your resume on LinkedIn and this thing once you've gone through it. Okay? Any other questions? Alright, it's already past 8:40, so I've even given you guys extra 5 minutes, so that will be all. And if you have any other questions, we'll see it on tomorrow's class. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about outreach in particular, and that would also answer maybe some questions you might have at the back of your mind on this class. So hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's class. Okay?